Be ready. 10 seconds to go. Start. Madam Speaker, I heard with rapt attention the observations made by the various honorable members on this vast problem of violence against women and children across the country. It is a matter of great concern to all of us in this House. Many of you have made very moving speeches, and I have no doubt that the quality of your interest across party lines will lead to a change in the way we approach this gigantic problem. Across the board, there are some common concerns that you have expressed. Madam, the patriarchal mindset of society, the absence of the implementation of stringent laws, the delays in the completion of trials, low conviction rate, the lack of expeditious dealing with complaints, the need to check the child sex ratio imbalance, dealing with the heinous crimes committed by the adolescent offenders, providing toilets for women in rural areas, and bringing about social awareness are some of the common problems that our country is facing. Many of you have given data on the crimes being committed and the low conviction rates. I have been a minister for the last 2 months, and this subject was taken by me on the day I joined. In the beginning of my response, I would like to take you through the various laws that we have in different ministries that have risen to this challenge of curbing these vicious crimes against women and children. The Criminal Law Amendment, which came into force on 3rd February 2013, which has enhanced punishments for crimes such as rape, sexual harassment, stalking, indecent verbal and physical gestures, has changed various sections of the Indian Penal Code, the Code of Criminal Procedure, the Indian Evidence Act, and the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act, the Prevention, Prohibition and Redressal of Women at Workplace Act 2013, which came into force on December 9, 2013, insists that all workplaces with more than 10 workers has to have an internal complaints committee. The Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act 2012 addresses sexual abuse and exploitation of children and provides for child friendly procedures for reporting, evidence, and investigation of such crimes. The Protection of Women from Domestic Violence Act 2005, the Dowry Prohibition Act 1961, the Indecent Representation of Women Prohibition Act 1986, the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act 2006 are some of the acts brought out by the Ministry for Women and Children over the years. However, all of you have voiced a common concern for faster trials and fast track courts. The Justice J.S. Verma Committee made no recommendations on how to do this. Section 309 of the CRPC has been amended to fix a time limit of 3 months, but more changes are needed to bring in time bound trials. The NDA government had brought in fast track courts for different issues. mysteriously they have been allowed to become inactive in the last so many years. There are some other concerns that need to be redressed. I will use this forum to address other wings of the central and state governments. Consensual rape is a grey area, and we therefore need to review Section 375 of the IPC. We have to put in a witness and victim protection program as other countries have, because out of fear witnesses recant or disappear. The current provisions relating to perjury are also very weak, due to which the accused and their families put pressure on the victims or witnesses to recant their statements. The Child Marriage Act needs to be taken more seriously and tightened. The registration of placement agencies, changes to the existing child labor laws to recognize the trafficking of children are also required. We need to tighten mechanism to trace and investigate the cases of missing children. Though this ministry is one of the many in government that is faced with these problems, I would like to tell you about my approach. I believe that we need to divide the work of the ministry to tackle the problem into three different compartments, that are protection, confidence building, and the hope of economic independence and infrastructure. Under protection, this is what we in this government have devised. In order to address any legal loopholes that may come under other laws, I had asked the High Level Committee on the Status of Women 2014 to prepare a list of laws that need working on. They have done so. We will go through each one of them and see how we can provide a legal circle of protection. However, that in itself, as all of you have rightly pointed out, is not enough. Almost all of you have asked for quick response mechanisms. So, we are making a one stop crisis response center for all crimes against women. This will be put in every district and will have attached to it a panel of police people, lawyers, a trained 24 hours caretaker, nurses, counselors, and a rescue vehicle. From the minute a woman complains, the machinery of attending to her case on the medical to the legal and temporary shelter will be set in progress. Stop.